Hello, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. If somebody give me a sound check, that would be super duper and greatly appreciated. As you can see, the format has changed just a little itty bitty bit, and I'm trying to make some adjustments on the fly. We'll definitely be covering some news here, but I'm trying to get some things set up that are a little tricky, a little tricky. So basically, I'm kind of waiting for things to like fill room, like just getting a few people in here. Looks like we got 17 people in here. And I'm going to go to the chat. If you see me looking around a little weird, it's because I have to do some. Um, oh, I know what that is. Hold on a second here. I gotta. There we go. There we go. So, did you guys like the intro? I decided to make a. I normally do it like once a year, but I was like, December 1st, what the hell? A whole month early is not going to hurt anything. And how is the sound as well? Because I have removed the microphone down to the table and gotten rid of the boom mic that was up in my face and all these other different little things. And so I'm trying. Clearly, I'm in top chat, so let's go to live chat. And I don't know if that will change what is happening over on the screen itself, because some of the things on the screen I just can't tell what is actually happening. So, all right, let's see. So I'm going to say hi to everybody while I've got a chance here, and then we'll get into a little bit of news. Also, you're going to see the screen change a little bit. Let's see here. So Cindy was the first one in here, like 2 hours early. JB the 25th, number two. There's a mod in the house. Be careful, guys. Catatu, you are deterred. We got Bradley Collins. Who else we got in here? We got Preston's in the house. Alrighty, Canada. Cindy is, where are we at here? Tina Price. Let's see here. Homestead Creeker, good to see you, Broseph. If I say somebody's name over, it's because I'm reading them. Andy Pearson, and we got Dale. Dale, how to recognize you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Miko's in the house. What do we got here? Jammer's here. Stray Kitten, just like a red alert clickbait, just like red alert clickbait tests. No, no, no. Okay, let's see. It's kind of funny how you said that. It's kind of funny how you said that. All right, so I'm going to change my screen a little bit. That chat is, where's it? I should be able to see it. Why is this looking so weird over here? There we go. All right, so I'm trying to keep that open over there. And we've got to make this bigger. That's what she said. But only once. And let's see here. Okay, so I think we're golden. I think we're golden. Guys, do me a favor. Tell me what you think about this screen. So looking at this screen right here, and then let's look at option number two. If we go to option number two, this is option number two. Do me a favor, guys. Put a kind of funny how you read what I wrote wrong. Like stray kitten, like a red alert clickbait test. I don't. I okay. Well. That's the funny thing about text. Let me finish this. Let me finish this. Stray kitten. So this is option number two. Would you prefer option number one? Option number one? Option number one? Or do you prefer option number two? Option number two. This is option number two. Please vote in the chat. I probably should have done a poll just to have a little bit of fun with it. But I'm kind of, you know what, I'm going to do that, guys. Let's do that because it'll take me forever to count this. I'm going to go ahead and put a poll in there. Um, Option one. Oh, what's the best view? Um, Question mark. W. Sorry to make you guys do this twice, but option one, or option two. Kind of went Barney on you there. So now there's a poll where you guys can figure out which ones you guys prefer the most. It's option two is hard to read. Okay. Um, yeah. So hard to read. I got you, Dale. But the thing is I can actually change things. So Dale, if I could if I could change the font so that it's a little bit easier to see, or maybe actually put a little bit of fuzzy air behind that, would that help you deciding these things? I can't read chat too, makes you centered and it helps any OCD. I got you, Homestead Creeker. I got you. What options again? Okay, so what options again? Option one. This is option one. This is option one. Paging option one. This is option two. This is option two. Okay, so Stray Kitten, now you know. And so what I was saying, Stray Kitten, while you guys are voting, the what I was what I was when I was reading, it was what I was trying to say to you was sometimes it's really difficult to determine what somebody is typing or what somebody is posting, and often I miss either I would say 70, maybe 20% of the time I misread what somebody has posted, or I just don't understand what they're posting. Can you send this test to my eye doctor? Yes, give me his email address. I'll be happy to send it to him, Jam, or anything for you, bro. Let me look at the poll here real quick. And it's fun. Well, I can't show you guys the poll right now because of the way I have this text set up. Looks like 62% like option one with 13 votes. But I'm going to leave this up for anybody that pops in and they can ask me what the options are. Okay, so I don't normally do this because I kind of got away from this format, but what I've determined by my last video on Syria was that I got a lot of people's attention about that particular subject. If you guys don't know what's happening, the Syrian rebels have taken over Aleppo in Syria. It's in the northeast corner of Syria. It's right on the corner of Turkey and Lebanon, and it's kind of a key region, but they basically taken it over, made their headquarters there at the airport, and are kind of running ramshot over the Syrian forces. And this has both the Turkish support what's happening, which is kind of weird, and as well as the Russians have them a little worried about this situation because Russia thought that Syria was kind of stable uh, in that they were being allowed to use their air bases and create kind of a military infrastructure there within Syria. So option two would be golden if you had a backdrop. Gotcha, Preston. So basically, fog up the background a little bit. I'll see what I can do. There's a piece of software that I use to create that option, but yeah. Let's see here, but I'm thinking about you, bro. I'm thinking about you. So maybe on the next, maybe I fix it tonight, and then tomorrow's live stream in the morning, I'll be able to ask the same question again. Option one or option two? All right. So as usual, I want to appreciate you guys for hanging out with me, but I didn't want to do it like just cause. I vote Preston's option. I got you. Okay, so make it a little hazy back there, so there's some contrast. I have the same problem now that my eyes are getting a little bit older. All right, so I'm going to push this button over here and watch what happens. Oh my God. What do you guys think about this one? This is the one I'm going to use to like actually discuss things that are happening online. So you actually have some kind of like proof source and it's not just me running my suck. Do me a favor, let me know in the chat if you guys like this. And we can go from there. And now I plan on doing more of these live streams in the evening as well, but it will be more like current events type things versus preparedness stuff. So, okay, so with that said, these are actually all coming out of the same organization or web page. There's actually a web page out there that is specifically focused on the what is happening with rights on the internet. Pastors at work pushing them carts, bro. I'm from Walmart. There you go. There you go. But so one of these articles, I've got four of them for you here, and I won't read all of them, but we're going to talk about some of this stuff. As usual, guys, I talk about some stuff, you write some stuff down, I talk about the stuff that you wrote down. So world leaders sign new censorship declaration at UN event while Secretary General Antonio Guterres pushed for increased online censorship. Now, what is this bag of kittens talking about here? I wonder if I can like make this bigger for you. It's kind of small. Oh, look what I just did. All right, so a new UN driven censorship declaration has been signed by a number of world leaders during an event in Portugal. The Casacais, I'm probably saying that wrong, declaration at the United Nations Alliance of Civilizations, or the UNICO Global Forum. And I actually have a copy of it there. Um, the gathering was addressed by UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, who once again reiterated his commitment to censoring online speech, bringing up the usual set of arguments in favor of moving in his direction. During the address, Gutierrez spoke about unchecked digital platforms and AI and accused them of allowing hate speech to proliferate like never before, and did not miss the opportunity to mention misinformation and deep fakes in the same context. Gutierrez wants big tech advertisers and media. That is along with the governments and organizations like the UN among the world's egregious offenders when it comes to online censorship, down to double down. Let's see if I can click on this and then there we go. I can use my keys for this, which makes it easier. Taking responsibility for their role in spreading hate speech, deepfakes, etc., was how he phrased it. Gutierrez also again pushed the UN initiative that critics say introduces algorithmic censorship and demonetization under the stated anti-misinformation and hate speech scope, the UN's global principles for information integrity. According to Gutierrez, these recommendations allow for a more humane information ecosystem. Well, I got to be honest with you guys. I got to be honest with you. This is really just more censorship at the global level that is a serious problem. It's a serious problem, and it's a serious problem. I'll push this back to number one, so that you guys can actually see your chat. I like it the other way, but I can't fix this on the fly, so I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it like this. We'll go back and forth. Um, this is global censorship, is what this comes down to. Now, the UN has been fighting for some kind of real power for years, absolutely years. I mean, we're talking about like right after World War II. They were like, let's install a global government so that all the globals can be under our government. And it's really kind of scary because what has happened is they were not granted this power. And because they weren't, what what they ended up doing was, I'm going to move this. Give me a second here. I'm doing a technical thing in the background. Um, so they don't have this global reach that they want, and it's very kind of, I guess it's, for lack of better words, kind of hard on them because they're constantly trying to get control of something, and it's not working for them. And it's not working for them because no one wants to be controlled. They kind of got out of control in the early 2000s with the whole trying to go after everybody's guns with their little their arms disarmament initiative. That Thank God Americans in the 2A community caught on to this. But they've been kind of going crazy ever since. Now, the only reason you want to stop somebody from talking is so that no one else can hear them. Not because you don't want to hear what they have to say, because if you are part of a tyrannical government or a tyrannical global effort to stop free speech, then there has to be an agenda. There has to be a reason why. It's not for the betterment of man, because in every single time, in every piece of recorded history, where free speech was stunted, it was because of a power play. It was because the governments wanted you to think a certain way and didn't want you to be able to talk about things. You know, uh, free speech is attuned to the black market versus the open market. It's going to happen either way, and if we ignore these people that are trying to do this, you're going to end up in nefarious situations. If you got a comment on that, do me a favor, please put that in the chat. I'll be happy to discuss it with you. But I've only got another 45 minutes on this live stream, and I need to move on to the next subjectorino. But before that, I actually have another set of buttons to push. Yeah, I want to talk to you guys about this one right here. I got to check and make sure that that actually popped on. Where is my software? There it is. Okay, guys. These are where you're going to start seeing like some real product placement inside of these live streams. I've done this before in the past, but so here's the thing. Here's the truth about Refuge Medical. It's the greatest medical company on the planet. Not a joke. Medical supplies, IFAKs, surgical kits. I mean, pretty much these guys are saving lives left and right. I really wish if you guys are listening over there at Refuge Medical that you would start publishing all of these lives saved. I see them from time to time, but I'd like to really see more and share them with the community. Now, here's the other reason I'm telling you about this. Right now, Refuge Medical has got a tremendous sale going off. They're offering like 50% off some of their items. So this might be the opportunity, and this is real gear, so it's not cheap. So this is the opportunity to do it. So here's what I recommend you do. Use the link in the description. Go and check them out before. I want to say it's probably close of business Monday because that seems to be when Black Friday ends, like 4 days later. It's like the longest Friday on the planet. But I know tomorrow's Cyber Monday, whatever. Nobody's spending a lot of money, but if you're going to do it, spend it on stuff that you actually can get something out of. Anyway, so use code PREPSTOCK if it will allow you to. If not, many of their deals are actually 50% off. So you guys need to go there and check that stuff out. All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. All right, let's see here. Who is that just said they just made it? Who is that? Bradley Collins. Man, I was here and had to run off. Made it. Gotcha. Let's see here. Refuge has text alerts, by the way. Nice, Tuck, and welcome to the chat, Tuck. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Listen, I love their gear. Don't get me wrong, but I don't love their gear so much. I want to get a text message from them every time they come out with some kind of new 500 Cordura flippity flappity piece of gear. Okay, I know their stuff is top notch. I own their stuff. It's top notch. I paid top dollar for their top notch stuff. You guys should have seen the video by now. Um, but yeah, I'm not going to be getting text messages from any company telling me, "Hey, that's just not going to happen." But thank you, Tuck. I do appreciate you, Broseph. I do appreciate you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next one because this is kind of this theme that I'm running tonight is all about internet and how the world is trying to shut us up. Let's see here. Attitudes. Stray Kitten says, I don't need a first aid kit because I can't afford to live. Yes, you can, young lady. Take your pills. Everything will be fine. All right, let's see here. I'm going to push this button. All right, let's see here. The end of online autonomy. You guys have probably heard about this in the news. It all sounds like a great thing, right? Remember, no good deed goes unpunished. Australia's new law pushes digital ID for everyone to ban kids from social media. Really, that's pretty awesome, isn't it? Well, let's keep kids off the internet because from social media because it's dangerous. And to an extent, I would say probably 90% of that statement is 100% true, and I agree with that. But I got to drink some coffee. I got to drink some coffee. That's right. I'm still drinking coffee. Nothing has changed. Australia is gearing up to roll out some of the world's strictest social media rules, with Parliament having pushed through the legislation to bar anyone under 16 from creating accounts on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. Don't forget Grindr. It's a sweeping measure, but as the ink dries, the questions are piling up. I need to get this clicked on. There we go. Can you see you guys, can you see my cursor? Do you guys see my cursor? I don't think you can. All right, so Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, Labor Department, and the opposition teamed up on Thursday to pass new restrictions with bipartisan enthusiasm. And why not? Opinion polls show a whopping 70% of Australians are behind the idea. Protecting kids online is an easy sell, which is why it's often used to usher in the most draconian laws. Still, the devil, as always, is in the details. Proof of age, but at what cost? No cursor. Thank you. Thank you very much. here is the crux of the new law. And this is how those sneaky bastards. If you guys didn't know that Australia is like one of our allies, I love Australians. But I hate the Australian government, and not because I hate government in general, but because the Australian government has gone totally socialist bonkers. They were the worst country that had to do with the whole masks and that thing we can't talk about. Absolutely. I am so unbelievably surprised that the citizenry of Australia did not just pile drive, okay, every one of the cops they saw. When the cops would set up their 3-row lines and 300 people would line up and somehow the cops were stopping them. I don't know why they didn't just run them into dog snot so they knew they'd never do it again, because it would have changed things forever over there. But they didn't do it. I think I saw at the very end there was some. There were some that were like just breaking through their lines, but the cops didn't get hurt. And I guess that's better. I guess that's better. But I think if you're Australian, you know what I'm talking about. Your own damn history shows that the origin of your country were taking away the rifle of a soldier who killed an innocent man in front of everybody in daylight. Okay, and then taking over the country from that point. So I don't understand how Australians have got so damn soft. But as an American, we're pretty freaking soft too. It's going to take something. It's going to take something real to get us to like just start like stomping in the brains of freaking people that are un-American. You know what I'm saying? So here's the crux of the new law. To use social media, that's right. I had to go off on that. Australians will need to prove they're old enough. That means showing ID, effectively ending the autonomy that's long been a feature or flaw, depending on your perspective, of the online experience. In theory, this makes sense. Keeping kids out of online spaces designed for adults is hardly controversial, but in practice, it's like using a sledgehammer to crack a walnut. For one, there's no clear blueprint for how this will work. Will social media platforms require passports and birth certificates at sign up? If you don't think that's a joke, I've actually had Facebook back when I was fighting in the great Facebook wars of 20, or is it 2020, and the great no, back in the great Facebook wars of 2016. I lost 4 valiant Facebook profiles because I wouldn't shut up and I wouldn't stop telling lefty nutbags that they're crazy. But yeah, at some point, Facebook actually asked me to send in a picture of my passport to prove who I was. So you think it won't happen? Watch and see. All right. So, will social media platforms require passports and birth certificates to sign up? Who's going to handle and secure this flood of personal information? The government hasn't offered much clarity until it does. The logistics look shaky. And then there's the matter of enforcement. Teenagers are famously tech savvy, and history has shown that banning them from a platform is more of a speed bump than a roadblock. With VPNs, fake IDs, and alternate accounts, already standard fare for navigating internet restrictions. How effective can this law be? The hasty debate. There's this turd bucket, I think. Critics on both sides, yeah, he's the prime minister. Critics on both sides of parliament flagged concerns about the speed in which the legislation moved forward. But the Albanese, Albanese government pressed ahead, arguing that urgent action was needed to protect young people. Their opponents in the Liberal Nation coalition, not wanting to appear soft on tech regulations, fell in line. The result? A law that feels more like a political statement than a well thought out policy. There's no denying the appeal of bold action on big tech. Headlines about online predators and harmful content make it easy to rally public support. But there's a fine line between decisive governance and reactionary policy making. I think you guys know where this one is going. And it's not going to end up well for these people because, let's see, this is what they call a generational assault. Well, and the Japanese were known for this. If you read any of their war fighting literature, there it was never their goal to conquer the United States after World War II, anyway. Um, with military force, it was always about conquering the United States over 50 years. And you can go and read that, and maybe you can educate yourself and so on and so forth. But they knew something about generational changes. Generational changes don't happen overnight. It's a matter of time. So today, they say you can't have a Facebook account until you're 16 years old. And how do we prove that? Well, we're going to come up with some way, some kind of digital ID. Wow, that's great, digital ID. And then in a couple of years, they're 18 and it doesn't matter anymore. But there's already that digital ID it's been floating around in the ethers of the interwebs for 2 years. And now it's something you can use to do other things with because you've already had it for 2 years and everybody before you had to get it and before them had to get it. And see how after 1 year after the other, it's a very systematic way of implementing digital ID. For us old folks, it'll be like, yeah, whatever. But at some point, it'll be like, you need a digital ID. We're going to go to log into our AARP account, and they're going to be like, sorry, bro, you need a digital ID. And that's how they do it. That's exactly how they do it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go to the chat here real quick. I can make the chat bigger so I can see it. And I'm going to stretch this out a little bit. And looks like 64% of you guys like option number one. If you're new, we're voting right now. This is option one. Option one looks like this. Option one looks like this. This is option two. Option two looks like this. I can tell you about option two. Option two, I will be graying out the background on option two so that you can have uh, more not context contrast, so you'll be able to read it a little bit easier. You'll get like this gray outline-ish thing over there on that side. I'll have to try and figure that out because it's kind of in my head space, if you know what I mean. Option one, option two. Okay. All right, I'm going to go back to option one because you guys seem to be able to read that a little bit better. But going to the chat, let's see here. I don't need a first. Okay, let's see. I need more of their. Chuck says I need more of their stuff. I get the text just in case I have money, money, money for an IFAC. I'm telling you, Broseph, you might as well listen. You need to figure it. You guys got to figure out. I will tell you the biggest thing. So here's the magic to uh, the IFAC that they make, that Refuge Medical makes. It's all about the compartment, the space, the bag. Okay. All that stuff fits in there and is instantly accessible because of the design of the pouch and the container that is inside the pouch that you can actually open. It's designed to be opened with one hand. And that's the magic to the whole kit. I'll be honest with you. You can build your own kit without that and just go buy like a 14 or $29 fancy bag that you can like grab the side and zip straight down if you want to, and whatever's. And you can save a little money that way. Don't get me wrong, because I definitely recommend you having like an IFAC that you like keep in your car or something like that. There for a long time, I had a kit and it was in a 1 gallon Ziploc bag. It stayed in my car. I didn't need a freaking, this fancy kit. But I really like the design of the iFac that they make. So, or the Bear Fac. So I do recommend that you get one. Let's see here. Where are we at here? Bradley Collins says in India, you have to prove you're 18 to go to porn sites with a photo ID, not like other states that a kid could just say, I'm over 18. Gotcha. What's up, Billy King? Good to see you. Good to see you, bro. Andy Pearson says, Dear government, wanting a digital ID, eat a satchel of Richard. Richard. I think you could probably get away with the word you're talking about as long as you capitalize it. Let's see here. Billy King, I went over the options. Option one, you're in option one right now. Option two, option one, option two. All right, let's see here. Andy Pearson says, my buddy Richard hates the nickname, so we always call him Richard Car 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 Caranium. I guess Richard Caranium. I got you. Like fingerprints, get Catitude says like fingerprints or get a license or ID. They do here in Texas. I tell you what, I'm literally gonna go. I finally found my birth certificate. I told the members that story, and I'm going to be going to get the star on my ID just cause. That way, no one can give him any crap about that. Clint says, "Hey, Clint, good to see you, bro. Too many ways to track everybody already. Autonomy needs to always remain an option, or there's no freedom of speech." I believe what you're saying is true, but here's the thing: what if they know where we are? What if they know, like, what if we don't have autonomy, but we have 100% free speech? That's a game changer. That is a good government doing the work that government is supposed to be doing. They're supposed to govern us with our permission. They're not supposed to be breaking all the rules. And that's a problem. That's a problem. Okay, guys, going to push this button over here, and because we're in between stories, and it's time to do just exactly that. Guys, I haven't talked about this in some time. EMP Shield, unbelievable device. Somebody actually asked me about it the other day. Now, I got a magical deal for you on the EMP Shield, guys. You're gonna love this. Right now, they're taking, I think, $50. It's either $50 or $100 off of the EMP Shield devices. Do me a favor. Go to the link in my description. Remember my code, LocalPrepper, all one word. Guess what? They're doing double coupon day right now. I think until close of business tomorrow. So give that a thought. If you've been wanting to get one, this could be your opportunity. Double coupon days, that's not a joke. EMP Shield, I have one on every single one of my vehicles because in the event of a situation where, oh my God, nothing's on anymore, I'm just literally going to get in my car, go get the girlfriend, or hell, she's got one in her car. She can just come the hell home. I think you get the point. All right, so we're going to go back over here real quick, and we're going to then change that screen to this screen. Oh my God. UK police used facial recognition on thousands during summer protests and riots. The things we find out after the fact are always quite interesting. Let's go and scroll up here. Where are we at? Police in the UK used what appeared to be an advanced facial recognition surveillance tool to identify and arrest several suspects in the wake of last summer's unrest following the Southport stabbings. It has emerged. The information has emerged. Confirmation came from Northumbria Police, while experts say officers at the same time accessed the police national database. Socialist countries, super suck, to analyze more than 10,000 hours of CCTV footage that likely translate to a data set containing images of scanned faces of a large number of people, ranging from thousands to possibly hundreds of thousands. And that has taken place despite the practice being dangerously unregulated in the UK, as Big Brother watch is warning. Guys, I'm telling you right now, this is what America will be if we let it happen. We already have the police already have almost instantaneous access to what they call geoboxing, where they can literally just say, do me a favor, telephone company, or cell phone company, should I say? I'm sure Ma Bell doesn't exist anymore. Do me a favor. We're going to draw a box around this little thing, this little spot right here, and tell us what came in and out of it in the last 24 hours. Yeah, or even better yet, just tell me what was there from 9 to 11 last night. Yeah, they can do that almost instantaneously now. It's out of control. Police used face recognition technology along with data from Police National Database during the summer riots. Northumbria, yes, man noises. Northumbria Police's decision to use facial recognition surveillance tools is concerning from a privacy perspective. Whilst, you can tell they didn't write this in America, whilst it is important that those who broke the law during the riots are brought to justice. Surveillance and technology like retrospective facial recognition are dangerously unregulated in the UK. There are real questions to be answered about how many millions of Brits' photos are integrated into UK-wide facial recognition databases. This is nothing short of Orwellian and demonstratives demonstratives, demonstratives. That demonstrates that regulation of these practices is badly needed in order to protect our rights to privacy. And this came out of a reply to the BBC News, who wrote this article. Let's see here. The rights group put the emphasis on the need to regulate the area in order to protect people's privacy while carrying out police work. But the technology is clearly already in full use, even though even though still awaits rules that will be given legitimacy to law enforcement reaching for these kinds of tools. So what they're doing, guys, is they are creating technologies and using those technologies very quietly, um, and they're doing it in a manner that would make it complex for them to regulate the technology, or should I say, the use of the technology. Um, they basically create this idea, and then they just wait for it to be regulated. And then once somebody starts to talk about regulating it, then they start to put all sorts of hard questions like, well, how would we do that? Oh my goodness, this is so difficult to figure. And they do that for a couple of years until finally they decide to regulate it, and at which time a new system has come along that's even better than the old system, and or they determine that, oh well, it doesn't need to be regulated, or yeah, we're just going to go around it because we can create these lawful situations that require it, these emergency situations that require the use of this tool immediately to save lives. And that's pretty much what they do. All right, let's go to the chat here real quick. We're still sitting at opinion one, 69% prefer that option. That's great. If you prefer option one, this is option one. This is option one. This is option two. This is option two. Option two will have a grayer background to give the text more contrast. All right, let's see here. Going to the chat. Let's see where we at here. Choo, choo, choo. Uh, uh, where are we at here? Only one post? Jesus. You guys, you guys are gonna make this a short but sweet live stream. I've already tested almost everything I wanted to test. Clint says autonomy, not autonomy. Anonymity, not autonomy. You're right. It will be great if the government worked the way they were supposed to. But people are people, and they will always overstep. Yeah, I just don't understand. I don't understand this need to control. It's like this giant nanny state machine. That's really what has happened. And what I don't understand is why some of these countries that fought so hard for their independence, so many like countries older than us fought for their independence from all this bullshittery, okay? To move away from it and be free and don't tread on me and leave us alone. Yeah, we're going to pay some taxes. Let's make some roads. Let's get some people in there to clean up the horse poop, or let's get somebody to make sure the sewers work and the water works and the railroads and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But they just decided at some point just to give the hell up and let the nanny state take over. And now the nanny state's here, and they're like a cockroach that refuses to be flipped over. They're just all over the damn place. They are all over the place. All right, I'm going to go ahead and test a button right here. Let's go ahead and do this one right here. Ba-cha-pow. Jace Medical, guys. Probably, in my personal opinion, the best mail order medical company on the planet, and for two reasons. One, the original Jace case, which is full of antibiotics, and if you ladies didn't know that, they actually make a antibiotic kit specifically for the ladies, if you know what I mean. You can buy it on their website. There's a link in the description, and you can actually save a little bit of money. If you're looking at the screen right now, you'll see how much. Just use that code, and yeah, that's what will happen. Also, they have lots of add-ons to the Jace case, the old ivermectin, and a few other things you can add there. And then if you're one of those people that has medications that they have to take, take daily to stay alive and they would like to stockpile a little bit of it. I know a handful of you have already done this, which is super cool. But a lot of people don't know that they can actually get like months worth of medications from Jace Medical, and then yeah, they can rotate it out like a pantry. They can come up with a system that works for them. I also believe they take some of the medical cards, if you know what I mean, programs. Something like something something SA programs. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. It's a little insane. It's a little insane how easy it is to get this. I actually own two of the kits myself, one for my girlfriend. And there's been a few times where she's woken me up in the middle of the night and says, "Honey, I need the Jace case." And we all know what that's about. All right, guys, we're going to move on to the next one. Let's go ahead and go to this one right here. And this one, EU censors set their sights on blue sky. Guess what? Well, if you guys don't know what blue sky is, this is where all those left-wing nutbags ran to. It's been in existence for over a year now, even two. But this is basically blue sky was built uh, when um, when after Elon bought Twitter. And this is where all of the crazy tag left wing crazy people, um, this is where they slithered off to, guys. This is they went to their little echo chamber called Blue Sky, and they're like, oh, now we can speak freely, and there's not so much hate and misinformation and disinformation. Guess what? The EU doesn't care. The EU just wants to control things. The US President Donald Trump won his first presidential term. Wait a minute. Let me read that again. When US President Donald Trump won his first presidential term, his opponents were declaring they were moving to Canada. This time they're trying to make the microblogging platform Blue Sky happen as a piece of exodus, or I'm sorry, a place of exodus from the hostile environment on X. But they still have quite haven't managed to do that yet, at least according to the European Union standards. User numbers are not big enough to consider it a very large online platform, also known as the VLAN. VLAN. It sounds like part of a woman's body. The threshold is 45 million monthly users or more, and it's therefore is not subject to the block's censorship law, the Digital Services Act or DSA. Yet Blue Sky is kept in the news, even if only to quote the EU Commission spokesman, who said that regardless of not qualifying for regulation under the DSA, all platforms, including this one, should have a page on their website that discloses the number of users to the EU. Blue Sky has no such page as of now, the spokesman said, but apparently the EU is yet to even contact the platform regarding this, although the spokesperson, Thomas Regner, proposed Brussels would reach out to the social media company as soon as the 27 member countries individually come around to identifying a representative based in any of them. So basically, it's an organization that has members that don't actually do anything. For now, the comments are used by the likes of the Financial Times to remind everyone that Blue Sky is reportedly gaining major traction because of Trump's victory and ex-owner Elon Musk's involvement in the campaign in the incoming administration. But Rector's comments did not threaten any action other than asking member countries to find some trace of a legal presence of Blue Sky in their jurisdictions and saying the EU would reach out to the platform to make sure it meets the disclosure requirements. Now, here's or where we're hearing that Blue Sky's representatives have emailed Bloomberg to say that its legal terms is actively consulting to comply. What the hell does that mean? Meanwhile, for a while, VLOPs like X, TikTok, and Meta have been pressured and are investigated under DSA's provisions, which could see them stripped of up to 6% of global revenue. More interesting part of the story around Blue Sky is the fact that it's continuously covered by corporate media, whether it's to report about a minor regulatory tiff like the one it's in now had with the EU, or to, in the same breath, effectively promote it as the place where those unhappy with both X and the outcome of the recent US elections are now escaping to in apparently large numbers. Yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Even though the legality of the operations in the EU might be in question, given that national governments have been instructed to find any trace of a bluckishly EU-based office, the Commission's presidents, the Commission's president, Ursula von der Leyen, tell me that doesn't smell of frickin', French German idiocracy. Is idiot, and I say that idiocracy. I'm saying that facetiously, by the way. Is almost those who have possibly formatively opened a Blue Sky account. According to the FT, other public figures, including academics, journalists, and left-leaning politicians, Blue Sky has an interesting history with X. It started out as a project within Twitter in 2019 and had formed Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey on its board until the May of this year. The project became an app after Musk's Twitter acquisition in 2022 and is now running as a public benefit corporation owned by CEO Jay Garber. So the bottom line, guys, with Blue or what is this? It's Blue, right? Yeah. EU Conference. I gotta find the name. I'm losing my mind. Losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. Blue Sky. The problem with Blue Sky is that it was actually built because they knew that Elon was going to buy Twitter. And so they wanted some place to send all these people who have the same mindset. They scream free speech and then tell you to shut up. They scream, the Second Amendment needs to be amended so that only I can say what I want to say. That's really what they're talking about. And then everything else that they don't like is either misinformation or disinformation. It's kind of stupid. It's kind of stupid. All right, let's see here. Bradley, because the fairest easy way to protect people and hold over them is it always consolidate power. Gotta run, get ready for bed. Long week still February for me. Have a great night and be safe out there. I got you, Bradley. Let's see here. JB says I owe. All right, JB, choice one or option one, option one, option one, option two, option two. And with option two, I'm going to be putting a gray background on that text. It'll be kind of translucent, but it'll give it more contrast. So option one, option two. All right, let's see here. Yeah, Tuck, exactly, Tuck. Blue Sky is Reddit with video, and Reddit. Oh my God, believe it or not, I have a Reddit account, but it's just not worth going on there. It's like you say one thing and then and people go nuts. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy what they do. Hunter Biden news. Did you want me to talk about Hunter Biden news? I wasn't aware of any Hunter Biden news. Or are you just saying that because of Blue Sky? I don't know. I mean, Hunter Biden, huh? Hunter Biden. Have they finally decided to one day ago stay informed, read breaking news? Hunter Biden. Breaking news. Okay, Hunter Biden's lawyer tried 1019. New defense with pardon window closing. Okay. President Biden set to issue a pardon for his son Hunter 24 minutes ago. Hunter Biden's lawyers apparent launch apparent 11th hour bid to land pardon from dad. Uh, Biden issues a full unconditional pardon. Oh no, no, no. The pardon comes. Oh, come here. You really? It's the New York Times. You're killing me. Hold on a second here. Um, let's do this. If you guys don't know about ground.news, you should definitely know ground.news. And then we come up here and we get that same title and we throw it in there and it's going to give me a bunch of stuff. Um, no pardon, 24 sources. And you guys got to be careful because this could literally be um, them just trying to probe to see what people think. I don't want to subscribe. I want to look at President Biden issues pardon for his son. Okay, breaking news. Yep, this is it. Monday, December 2nd, which is their time. Let's see here. This is going to be all over Fox, but whatever. President Biden has issued a pardon for his son Hunter, who has been convicted of federal gun charges. In a statement released by the White House, Mr. Biden says, "Today I signed a pardon for my son Hunter. From the day I took office, I said I would not interfere with the Justice Department decision making, and I kept my word." Where we at? Even as I have watched my son being selectively and unfairly prosecuted. Shut up, Dad. Quote, without aggravating factors like in a crime, multiple purchases or buying a weapon as a straw purchase, people are almost never brought to trial or felony charges solely from how they filled out a gun form. Oh, now, that's got to be awful for the ATF now. That's got to be awful for this actually sets precedent. Those who were late paying their taxes because of serious addictions, but paid them back subsequently with interest and penalties, are typically given non criminal resolutions. It is clear that Hunter was treated differently. You're right, he was, because he was a scumbag and because he didn't give a crap about the law. I'll be honest with you, I'm not upset, okay, that he's given his son a pardon. Okay. I'm not upset about it, okay? But what should have happened, and so this is all about them going back to court, doing a Hail Mary, and the judge saying, "No, Mr. Hunter Biden, you're going to be you've been found guilty. You will be sentenced." And so what should have happened is, what is it? Joe should have went over to Captain Red Tie and said, "I need you to do me a favor, big guy. I'm just going to shut my mouth. I'll keep a leash on Kamala as best I can, and we won't do any more stupid stuff for the next month if you will give my son a pardon on your first day." That's what should have happened. But no, they had to go and they had to play this game where um, Joe is going to they're going to try to make the left look like they're lenient and fair. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. So that's what this is all about. Miko says 10% for the big guy. 10% for the and JB, good catch, bro. Good catch, my friend. Good catch. It was appropriate since we were talking about news. So it all worked out. All right, guys, we're moving up on that 1 hour time. I want to appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. I hope you like the new format. And That reminds me, I gotta make a like talk to you guys later video just so I can push a button and close that out and just say, instead of saying goodbye, instead of like just turning things off. I know, right, Andy? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And do me a favor, guys. If you like what I'm doing right now, do me a favor, put a one in the chat. If you love your country, put a one in the chat. America. And we're going to knock that out. And if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, let's go ahead and put that in the chat right now. It looks like everybody loves option one. I love option two. I'm going to keep both options. I'll just do most of my work in option one. Let's see. The coffee's good. The night is good. I'm really wondering about the delay. So is my video quality good? Because I really told the camera, make good video. I should be going out at 4K. There should be no glitches whatsoever. It's very difficult for me to tell on my screen because my screen shows me exactly what I'm supposed to see. I mean, it looks. I think I'm good. I really do think I'm good here. I think I'm. Ooh, that's not it. I want to see this one right here. Wow, I am really going out good. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Catitude, Miko, Wolf, Just Getsy. And I don't really have a closeout video. I'm going to have to make one and like no sound in the background. I'm going to have to make one tonight before I go to bed. Just so you guys have like you know what? Oh, you know what? Oh my goodness. I wonder if there's any trademarks on you know how they used to it's 10 o'clock. Where are your children? And then frickin', they played the national anthem and then it went to static. You remember that? Or are you old enough to remember that one? That would be a good one. Thank you, Miko. I appreciate it, bro. That would be a good closing video. What do you guys think? You think that's a good idea? Do you guys think that's cool? I'm very curious to know because I just had an epiphany, you know. Let's see here. It's going to be a chilly night. I have to wear a t-shirt. I got you, Tuck. I got you. I know, right? In the freaking palm trees. All right, somebody let me in the chat if they like that idea because I definitely. Hey, what's up, Preston? Okay, thumbs up. All right, good. They're coming in. It looks like I do have a delay, more than usual, but I'm gonna deal with that delay no problem because of the quality that I'm seeing. It's going to be pretty cool on the back shelf. By the way, guys, I'm going to be putting or on the back wall, I'm going to be putting some shelves up and then putting like all the prepper related items up there, stuff like that. Let's see here. Miko says, "Oh yeah, I remember when it was when I was a kid, there was no trademark on that." Gotcha, gotcha. All right, guys. I'm gonna have to. You know what? I'm gonna push a button just so the chat can continue and do like it normally does. But it will be a little bit different. And members loading live stream. I think it's this one right here. If not, I'll push the other one instantly. All right, guys. I don't think there's a delay. I gotcha. Well, there's a delay. It's in my world, it's significant, like 15 seconds. So, all right, and I don't care. So we are good to go. I know what you guys like and what you guys are looking at. So stay safe. Have a great night, guys. I shall see you in the morning. If you haven't noticed yet, there is actually I've already posted where's it at? This is that is the link to the live stream for tomorrow morning. So if you guys want to get ahead of the bar on that one, or ahead of the tasks, or ahead of the whatever you want, you just want to get ahead. That's going to be it right there. We shall talk to you guys tomorrow morning. I'm gonna push a button right now. Hopefully it's the right one. You guys have a great night. Bye bye. There's no music to this one, so I'm gonna do it for you. While you chat goodbye, have a good night. I'll make you a song up just like right now.
Everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath.